We're going to move on to topic number 5 now, and that's going to be Shohei Ohtani making it to the 40-20 mark this season. This is the first time in Angels history that a player has hit 40 home runs and stolen 20 bases in a season for the Anaheim Angels. Huge mark here for this guy who just continues to pile up these crazy numbers, both on the pitching from the rubber, at the plate, and now stealing bases. Last night he stole home, which is just shows you how fast he is. So Brandon, this has got to be an unbelievable thing for this guy to get to this point of this 40-20 mark with the Anaheim Angels.
Yeah, I mean, it's Super-Shohei. It's Shotime Shohei, man. This guy does something every week for us to talk about. He's making history every week, and he just did it again. He just did it again by, being the first Angels player to hit 40 home runs and steal 20 bases in the same season. I mean, that's pretty amazing when you've talked about, you got Mike Trout on that same roster. Mike Trout's been on that roster many a times, right? So it just tells you how Mike Trout can't steal bases, right? He's a great player, right? One of the best players in Major League Baseball. Anaheim Angels have had some great players on their roster over this lifetime of their organization, and nobody's done this. So for Shohei Ohtani to do this, it just proves even more, wow, hey, give this guy the Major League Baseball MVP right now, because he is the best player in Major League Baseball. He's bringing all the eyes back. We love him on this show. We love covering him and talking about him. The young Japanese superstar Shohei Ohtani is the man. And like you said, you brought it up last night with that double steal. Okay, man, the pitcher he goes to throw it to second. He really should have just held on, because here comes the freight train, Shohei Ohtani coming down the third baseline, stealing home and making them look like an idiot with a double steal. But I think I have to quickly bring up being you talked about how Shohei is built and he is strong right now, that if that throw would have got there earlier, do you think Shohei would have just steamrolled him and rolled him up and got that base anyway? And I think he would have. Because I think Shohei's the man. And I think it's one of those things where I think the guy would have been afraid that he was going to get steamrolled, because Shohei is such a big presence right now and in the batter's box, in the game. And like I said, he is built like a football player out there playing baseball. But, man, I love this guy. I love watching him. And he, like I said, I've been very vocal on this show, being I'm not really a fan of baseball, but he's bringing me back. He's bringing me back, kind of like a Ken Griffey Jr. did, where just undeniably you just had to enjoy and watch the guy and enjoy what he was doing. And Super Shohei is that guy right now, breaking history just day after day.
Yeah, I mean, he's become appointment viewing this year, where if you hear that he's up at bat, you want to watch. Or if you hear he's on the bases, you want to watch. And now if he's pitching, you want to watch too. He's just fun to watch. I remember watching him in the home run derby. He didn't even, do that great. He lost in the first round, but it was just fun to watch. He was hitting bombs. The guy's 6'4", 240. The guy's stealing bases. He got, I think, 21 steals now that he had that steal last night when he stole home. I mean, I remember when Jacoby Ellsbury was on the Red Sox and he stole home. I think that was the last time somebody on the Red Sox stole home, and that was a super exciting play to see happen. So for Shohei Ohtani, who's this power hitter who can steal bases, who's such a good pitcher, we've never seen anything like this before. This is completely new territory. Kind of like any time in a sport where you see a guy who's just, or a female who's, just out of this world, beyond your expectations for what they can do in their particular sport. That's what you're seeing from Shohei Ohtani. It hasn't really been since Babe Ruth has somebody with this kind of power and then this good of a pitcher play in Major League Baseball. And the worst part about it is the Angels are a game under 500. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to make the wild card unless they don't lose a game for the rest of the season. And so, you're not going to see them in the postseason most likely. And there's not going to be a pennant chase or a wild card game chase towards the end of the year. And that's going to be the tough part, is that how many baseball fans are going to continue to pay attention when this guy's team is just not in it and doesn't have a chance at the postseason, because he's so fun to watch. And I wish he was on more national TV games. And, it seems like you got to have the MLB package to find him anywhere, unless it's, the All-Star game or something like that. So hopefully the networks can get the Angels on a little bit more down the stretch of the season, because this guy, like I said, is appointment viewing. Baseball needs somebody who you say, okay, tonight this team is playing. I want to watch this guy up at bat, or I want to watch this guy pitch. And that's going to get more fans involved and more fans interested, because Shohei Ohtani is just so much fun to watch. We've never seen something like this before.
No, man, I've gotten heat on this show before saying, there's not many like him, but it's true. And when I made that comment, it was being like, there's really nobody like this guy. And only incomparable was Babe Ruth. But I honestly don't think Babe Ruth was stealing bases with that beer gut that he was sporting. So it's just really one of those things where I think Ohtani is clearly a much better player than even Babe Ruth was at this point. People might not like hearing that, but it's the truth, okay? And it's just Shohei Ohtani is a superstar right now. He's getting all this credit. He deserves it, and he should be getting more credit, honestly. And we're going to keep giving it to him because he's the man right now. We've talked about, can he get to 50 home runs and a certain amount of strikeouts? But now we've got to start talking about how many bases can he steal by the end of the season. So I think it's really one of those things where, man, he's going to have 50 home runs, 30 stolen bases, and a ton of strikeouts. And that is just unheard of. So like I said, man, we don't even need to. I think we're counting down the votes for MVP is just going to be a show going down to the end of the season. And guess what? His name is Show. So just give it to him right now. Give it to Shohei Ohtani. I know we can't do that. We've got to go through it. But guess what? Everybody's vote is for Shohei Ohtani to be the Major League Baseball MVP. And he's just must-watch TV right now when it comes to baseball, and we're going to be covering him going forward on this show.
Folks, if you like this show, you're watching it right now on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. That's Comeback Sports on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, Comeback Sports. And then all the cut-ups that our awesome producer, Ben Kudo, puts together after the show, that'll all filter to your YouTube channel. You don't have to go search for it. It's just right there in your subscriptions.